Welcome back to the Arbitrage YouTube channel. In today's class, we're going to be learning how to make this beautiful elongated structured cape. It's a very simple tutorial and it's beginner friendly. If this is something you like to learn, kindly stay tuned to the end of this tutorial. Thank you. So to make this cape, the measurement you're going to need is your shoulder measurement with some extension. My shoulder is 14, divided by 2 is 7, so I'm going to be adding around 5 to 6 inches as the extension for mine. And then you're going to need the length of the cape. For me, the length of my cape is going to be around 12 inches, so I added extra 3 because there's going to be like the cape is pointed, so I'll need extra allowance for that. And then you also need your bicep measurement, so you just measure around you need your round shoulder measurement. So on that bicep area, your fullest part of your arm, just take your tape and then you measure around that bicep. And then you need the round measurement of where this cape is going to stop. So this measurement should be taken loosely because you don't want it to be too tight, so that you will be able to move your arm. So those are the measurements that you need. So for me, my shoulder is 7 plus 5 is going to give me around around 12 inches, so which is what I'm going to be marking here. So but before I do that, I'm going to be coming down by 2 inches first from my shoulder, from my starting point. I'll mark 2 inches and I'll make that into a straight line. So after making my 2 inches, you can see the way my fabric is folded. There is a zipper allowance at the back of the dress, so that's why I'm putting this extension for the zipper allowance at the back. If you are not working with the zipper allowance, you just fold your front and back together. Okay, so now on this starting point, now I'm going to take my shoulder measurement, which is 7 plus the extension that I said I want to add, which is, I think I'm going to be working with 3.5 inches extension now. I don't want it too long, so my shoulder is 7 and then I'm adding 3.5 inches for my extension. So now the length of my cape is 12 inches like I mentioned. I added 1 inch for hemming allowance. So after that, you're going to take your neckline measurement just exactly as you have taken it in the dress or blouse you are placing this. So for me, the neck width is 3 inches, and then the neck depth for the back is 1 inch, and then for the front is 3 inches. So you take your curved ruler and then you connect that. So this is for my back and this is for my front. Please use the curve for yours. Okay, you want it to be exactly as you have done it for your dress, because you are still going to sew them together, so they have to be the same. Okay, so now for the extension that we have, that pointed shoulder that you have there, that's why we have this 2 inches allowance. So depending on how pointed you want it to be, from 1 to 3 inches. So I'm going to be working with 1.75 inches on this point. This 5 inches extension, this 3.5 inches extension, I'll come up by the 1.75, and then I'm going to link it from my neck point to that point. Okay, so that's for the pointed shoulder that we have there. So you can see how elongated it's coming now. So it depends on how pointed you want it to be at that area. So now for my bicep, so remember our bicep is around 6 inches for my round shoulder, 5 to 6 inches from your starting point. So around this place now, I'm going to check to see that I have up to my bicep. My bicep is 40 inches, divided by 4 is 10. So here I have 10 inches. I'm just going to add a little allowance to that, and then I'm going to connect it. So all you just need to do now is to go to the hem. So on the hem, remember where your cape is going to stop, you take measurements around that place as well, and you make sure you take this measurement loosely. So for me, I have 44 inches. 44 divided by 4 is 11. So this is 11 inches here, and then this is my seam allowance. Make sure that measurement is loose. You don't want it to be too tight. So after this, now I'm going to go ahead and connect all of them together. So we connect from my elongated shoulder to the bicep and then to the hem. Okay, so this is the hem here. Okay, so you make sure you just blend everything together. So this is what I have. So now for the center front on the hem, is a bit curved. So to create that curve from your hem here, we're going to go up by around 4 to 5 inches, depending on how curved you want it to be. Okay, so if I'm coming up by 4 inches, it's going to be around here. So what I'm going to do now is to take a curved ruler and then connect it in the curved way to meet the hem like this, however you want it to be. You can see I have connected mine. You can connect it anyhow you want. So if you want the bag to have this shape as well, all you just need to do is to connect it the same way and then you cut it. But I think I want to leave my back straight, so I'll just go ahead and cut this out. So I'll cut my back neckline first together with the shoulder extension, and then I'm going to cut the side. Okay, so this is what I have. So now I'll cut the shape that I want for the hem of the front, and this is what it's going to look like. And then I'm going to cut out my front neckline. Okay, so this is what I have now. This is the front and this is the back. So when open, this is what the front is going to look like, and this is what the back is going to look like. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it on my main fabric now, and then I'm going to add my interfacing to make it structured. So I have cut out my main fabric now as well, and then I've also added interfacing to my lining. Okay, you can add to both your lining and your main fabric. So what I'm going to do next now is to go ahead and join it on the shoulder and the side, right side facing right side, lining to lining and fabric to fabric. So I'm going to place it like this. I'll join the shoulder and then I'm going to join the side. So I'll join for the lining separately and then the main body separately, and then use them to turn out each other. So I've gone ahead to join it on the shoulder. You can see my seam line, and then on the side as well. So this is the lining and this is the main body. So what I'm going to do now is to place the lining and the main bodies against each other, right side facing right side, and I'll go ahead and sew. So you're going to be sewing at your center back, the hem of your cape, and you're going to leave the neckline out to turn it. So I have sewn it all around now, and then I'm going to just notch it at necessary points, and then I'm going to turn it out from the neck area. You can see that both the front and back neckline is not torn. That's because we are going to use it to turn the neckline of the dress. So when you are turning, make sure all those sharp pointed edges, you try to bring them out, because you want it to be as pointed as possible. So you can just give it a notch at those sharp corners, and then you make sure you use whatever you have to just stick them out so that they can be pointed. Okay, so now after turning it out neatly like this, the next thing you want to do is to go ahead to iron it down so that it can be flat. So turning like this is just going to make your cape neat both in and out. You can see how neat it is. You can even use the wrong side in this case because it is completely finished. So this is what it looks like on the right side. Okay, and when you flip it to the wrong side, it's going to be equally neat as well. So I'll just go ahead and iron this neatly, and then I'm going to show us how to join this to the neckline. Okay, so I have ironed it now, and you can see how neat it is looking. So this is the neckline. The hem is completely turned as well as the center back. So now for your neckline, remember I said the neckline of your cape has to be exactly the same with the neckline of your bodies. So what you're going to do now is to place this on your blouse, right side facing right side, and then you sew it. Okay, let me just bring a blouse to illustrate this. Okay, so assuming this is a blouse we are working with, what we want to have is this cape on top of this blouse. Okay, that's the right side of this cape sitting on top of this blouse, just like this. So to achieve that, what you're going to do now is just to flip this like this. Okay, So that is the right side of your cape facing the wrong side of your main dress, and then you match the neckline together, and then you sew it. So after sewing it and notching, you are going to flip it back, and then you will see that your neckline is neatly turned as well. So that's what you're going to use to turn the neckline. So on the back, you just match this with the center back of your actual dress, and then you sew it down like this. That was why we put the center back of the dress. So I'll just take this cape to the mannequin now, so that we can see what it looks like, and you can see the elongation that I have here. So if you want yours to be more pointed, you just need to add more. Remember, I used 1.75, so you can use up to 3 inches, and then you have it pointed. And also you can place a shoulder pad on this area, okay, just to enhance it more. That's if you want, but your interfacing should give you the structure that you're looking for. So I'll take this to the mannequin now, so that we can see what it looks like. Okay, so this is what our cape looks like now, and you can see how pointed it is on the shoulder. So like I said, it can be as pointed as you want, and then you can see the curve that we gave to the front. It's really beautiful, as we have seen. I just wanted to wrap my excess fabric on the mannequin, so that I can give you this beautiful outcome that you have. So you just need to place on your dress or blouse, and then it's give you this beautiful and elegant look that you have there. So it's very important for you to measure. Remember, this is the point where the cape stops, so you need to measure around that area, and you make sure it is as free as possible, so that you'll be able to move your arms around. I hope you enjoyed making this beautiful cape tutorial with me. If you enjoyed it, let us know in the comment section. Like, comment, and subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.